I'll just hire a person. What do I need an outsourced marketing team for? We'll bring somebody in. We'll get a professional in here. Now, to be fair, AI has changed this, and there are more and more, which is really not smart either, but there are more and more marketing people finding themselves on the other side of that story than there are this one. But this thought is still fairly common, particularly it's the C-suite level, where the idea becomes, rather than work with an outsourced marketing department or work with a marketing agency, the idea is, no, we're gonna hire our own person. To bring our own person in, and it's worth talking about this a little bit because there are some advantages to having your own marketing person, but there are some real disadvantages too, and they're worth talking about. And we'll start with the advantages of having your own marketing person. And I think the biggest advantage of having your own marketing person is you can put your hands on them. They're there. There's an immediacy to. We've got Joanne in marketing. There, if you're an on-site team, there she is, right there on on the corner. Or if you're remote, she's there. She's in the meeting. She's a face. She's there. She's there. It's tactile, right? And that's a plus. And I absolutely agree that that's a 100% plus. But that plus is sort of equally a minus, because you're limited to whomever that person is, whatever their skill set is. I would also argue, if you hiring a marketing person who's going to sort of handle it all, what companies end up with is you end up with a generalist rather than a specialist. I would say marketing today has gotten to be, it's gotten very sophisticated. It's not that long ago that we had newspaper, radio, and television had a handful of channels. And then we got cable TV, but it's not that way today. Even as things as simple as outdoor advertising, right? How hard could that be? And today there's literally more than dozens of choices in something as simple as outdoor. It's not specialists in what today's marketing calls for, and that's the advantage that oftentimes a qualified external marketing team can offer. So an internal person oftentimes is best served to lead an external team that can bring in resources as required. The other really truly downside to hiring someone internally, and there's some amount of scale here, right? So it's good to have someone internally that you can put your hands on, someone that can hold all of the pieces together, always a win. Someone who can work with an external team who brings together all of the other pieces, who can call in parts on demand that are required or retire parts that are no longer required. Let's say, for example, we were doing a lot with Google AdWords, but we've decided to move away from that, or move largely away from that to move to a more top of the funnel tactic, like we're going to do targeted audio, and we're going to try to add. We're going to do a little more thought leadership. We're going to move towards the top of the funnel, so we don't need so much of that bottom of the funnel that AdWords provides. Or we're going to move to an AI strategy, right? Very different skill sets. So we got to be able to move parts of the team in and parts of the team out. The other real downside that I'll share with you, and when you want to be thoughtful about it when hiring a marketing person, is it's wildly expensive when you get it wrong. There's few things in the marketing business that are more expensive than getting the wrong hire. You hire someone let's face it, everybody looks good on paper. You think you got the right person, and you bring Tom in, and Tom, boy, he is just fabulous right up until the moment he's not. And now you're 8 months into this, and he's halfway through projects that he's made a mess of. And now you got to get rid of Tom, and you got to clean up the mess. And where when you have an outsourced product, that risk is far, far lower and much less expensive. So hire someone. You know what? You should have someone internally. Absolutely, there should be someone inside. We like to call them the flight director, right? The traffic director, holding all the pieces together. And depending on the size of your projects, maybe perhaps a marketing director, a generalist, who can then work with an outsourced team to bring in the experts as needed. It's a good thought for your consideration.